All right, so let's talk about package 2. What is that? Well, package 2 is a full box and dice service from start to finish. We're doing the majority of the heavy lifting. You're sitting back and shouldering the process and fully understanding what's involved along the way. You can have as much involvement as you wish from start to finish as well. Right, so we design the strategy for you. We will design the 8-point strategy that I think is important for the best outcome when we're buying residential real estate around the country. So we'll get those 8 points, indicators, including the research behind the locations, the type of property, the yield of the property, the loan to value ratio, the price point obviously that's going to reflect your situation, but also importantly, the yield that comes with the price that we're working on. Okay, so we go into the weeds around that 8-point strategy over 2 to 3 sessions generally, so that you've got a really strong handle on what it is that you're going to be buying, right? So once we've confirmed that, that's when we'll hand it over to our buyer's agent on the ground in that relative location. Now we've shortlisted locations, so we might have 4 to 6 locations that we think work for the strategy based on our own research, but you've got to be on board with that. So you might think that this location is going to work on this particular shortlist, and we're okay with that. We'll hand that over to our experienced BA on the ground, who'll then commence that search, right? So we've got the research, we'll then start finding the property. So the BA on the ground, we use a Google Sheets document, list all the properties, you've got visibility of it. The hardest job you've got there is to provide commentary to us on those particular properties and give them some ranking so that we get a feel for your risk profile, what you're seeing, what we're seeing, because we'll put an investment eye on it, but at the end of the day, you're signing on the dotted line for this property, so we want to make sure that we're all in on that purchase when it comes time to pull the trigger, right? After a few weeks, time-wise is totally up to you. It may take a week, it may take a month, it may take a few months, depending on the heat of the market, how quickly you want to move, your risk profile, etc. We'll then negotiate some offers out there, right? So we'll organise all that for you. We'll have the conditions that we recommend, subject to building and pest, all those other things that we think are important when putting out offers, to the point where we then purchase the property, right? We've shortlisted to one and then we pull the trigger. Along the way, there are a team of people that are very important to you, and make sure that your experience is a professional one, right? Accountants, mortgage brokers, building and pest inspectors, property managers, conveyancers, all these people we've got access to who are experienced and we've dealt with before, so we know they'll give you the best outcome. So you've got the opportunity to access those. If you come already loaded with those people, then that's fine as well, but we give you that option. So we want that experience to be a pain-free one for you, because often it's your first time of investing, or even if you're coming back for a second or third time as a property investor, you want it to be a pain-free experience where you don't have to be continually dealing with teams of people that are letting you down. So what do you do? Well, as I mentioned, you oversee the strategy. You're involved in the strategy talks. You're involved in the process and the search all the way through, but you're shouldering that. You don't have to be getting your hands dirty as such. Once the short list of properties are presented, and that amount is unlimited, by the way. We're not someone that says, right, here's 10 properties, choose one, and we can all get on with our life. We'll continue until we meet a happy medium for the market, but also you as the client, right? You give us feedback and we'll continue to work that journey as long as it takes, okay? The buying process then is probably where you get a little bit busier, where we say, okay, the offer's been accepted on this property. We might have a cooling off period depending on which state you are buying in, but this is when you'll liaise with conveyancer, you might liaise with the building and pest inspector, get that report, deal with the mortgage broker that you're using to understand the finance structures and get an evaluation done. That's where you'll become a little bit busier, so allocating some time to that is important, and then you're working that through in conjunction with us and our guidance to see that through till property settlement, and then obviously property management, and then the process from there begins, right? So it's the back end side of things where you'll get a little bit busier, but the journey from start to finish, we're definitely leading the way, okay? So why would you take on the full buyer's agent service, right? Because it is a more expensive option than the package 1 that we've outlined, right? But we're doing all the heavy lifting for you, okay? So you would take on package 2 because you have a lack of time, you have a lack of knowledge, you have a lack of confidence or maybe even interest in going and searching or designing strategy yourself anyway, and you maybe have a lack of contacts, i.e. real estate agents or a team of people that you might want around you, right? Getting those maybe off-market deals or pre-market listings, you may just decide, yep, look, I tick one of those boxes or actually all of them. I don't have any of that, so I definitely need someone to do it for me. And that's quite common, right? 20 years ago, 25 years ago when I started investing, there wasn't even buyer's agents, so we had to fend for ourselves and make all the mistakes. Today, in the new age that we're working in, buyer's agents are extremely common and probably used more often than not. And this is the reason, because of one of those four, or if not all four of them, okay? So there it is, package 2. You'll see the blurb below. If you wanted to commit to something like that, click through and then chat to one of our team and we can get you started.